Hey, this is Danny from Weird and Wired, and here I have a couple of novelty radios that I'm going to turn into little lo-fi amps and hopefully make a song with. I love modifying radios to work as dirty little guitar amps. It's a fun project to do, and it's all the more fun if you've got some quirky little radios to work with. This M&Ms radio is from the mid-2000s and I absolutely love the design of this thing. It is definitely a fun radio. It runs off of 3 AA batteries. It's only got an FM broadcast band, which doesn't really affect what I'm going to be doing with this, but the standout feature is it's not just a radio, it is also a lunchbox, so I can finally have a guitar amp where I can put my PB&J sandwiches. And this is a 1960s made in Japan rotary telephone novelty radio, which absolutely speaks to my heart. Not only do I love modifying radios, I also love to modify rotary phones. So this was an absolute no-brainer when I spotted this. But not only is it kind of a rotary telephone and a radio, it is also a lighter. I'm going to modify both of these radios in the same way, which is soldering a 1/4-inch jack to the volume port. I'm also going to give them both a speaker out. The sound you get really can vary from radio to radio, even though it's the same process. Sometimes you'll get speakers that are just getting absolutely hammered and making a really dirty driven sound. Other times it can be a full-on fuzz. Sometimes it's pretty clean, and I'm going to kind of say now my predictions that the M&M radio is going to be really dirty but gritty rather than a full-on fuzz, and the telephone, I'm hoping kind of anything other than gritty. I'm hoping it's either going to be really clean or really fuzzy, just so we've got plenty to work with. And using the speaker out means that it may give us a totally different sound as to what we hear through the speaker built in. I really don't know what sort of song is going to come out of this, but that is part of the fun. That's why I love doing this so much. So let's stop talking about it and let's start doing it. So there we go, two radio amps that sound very different from one another. As far as my predictions go, I was pretty wrong about the M&Ms radio amp being just a dirty, gritty sound. It is full-on fuzz city, but I'm pretty happy as well to be wrong, because it just goes to show that you really can't tell for certain how these amps are going to sound. And the telephone, I am very thankful it gave me something different from the M&Ms radio. It's just a very clean sound. It can get a little bit more like a driven clean when you really pump the volume. But I gotta say, for me, personally speaking, the M&Ms radio is the standout of the two. And a song written, recorded and inspired by these two radio amps. I don't believe I would have written that song exactly the same with any other two guitar amps, and that is why I love to do this modification, because it will just surprise and inspire. For the recording itself, I just used the speaker out on both of these amps for everything. The telephone radio, there's really not a lot in it between having this mic'd up or using the speaker out. It sounded near enough identical to me. And the M&Ms radio, the fuzz is just that little bit stronger. But miking up either of these could work wonderfully for a different stylistic choice altogether. Usually when I'm showing how these radio amps sound, I don't do any mixing, I don't do any effects, it's just the raw audio. But for the purpose of really showing how far you can go with these radio amps, I did have the song mixed by my good friend Robbie of Can't Afford to Record, who is an absolute gentleman. When I said, I've just recorded a song and everything goes through a radio, would you like to try and mix it? He stepped up to the challenge, no problem at all. I think he did a phenomenal job. So if you want to go check out how Rob got these sounding so good, you can check out the video on his channel. And if you want to have a go at mixing a song where everything is recorded through a radio, you can download all of the original stems from the link in the description. I would love to know what you guys think of these radio amps, whether this is a modification you've tried for yourself before, whether it's one that you're eager to try for yourself, and whether you have also used these in a recording environment or maybe even a live performance environment. Huge thanks once again to Robbie from Can't Afford to Record. If you want to hear more music that me and Rob have worked on, we've just put out an EP together. It's called Bought Ourselves a Drum Machine, and it is available now on all streaming services. So let me know all your thoughts and feelings, and until the next time, keep it weird and keep it wired.